Hey, 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 we have another incredible interview with one of our amazing Get Good at Business Summit speakers. I am joined today with Candice Mallicoat, and Candice is incredible. I've known her for years, and I'm so excited for what she's going to be sharing with us at the Get Good at Business Summit. If you haven't heard yet, the Get Good at Business Summit is March 15th and 16th, and we have over 20 incredible speakers, all dedicated to helping you get good at business so you can get back into the heart of why you got into business in the first place. And Candice is one of those incredible speakers who's donating her time, her talent, and her expertise to support your business growth. And with over 2 decades in event marketing and production landscape, Candice stands as a seasoned architect of memorable experiences. Whether working behind the scenes as an event manager or as an ambassador for industry giants like Subaru, PlayStation, Kleenex, Candice brings a humble yet impactful touch to each project. Deeply passionate about curating in-person events characterized by joy, transformation, and lasting memories, she has cultivated a distinct expertise in this realm. Her dedication to creating not just gatherings, but immersive experiences is evident in every detail. For Candice, events are more than just a checklist. They are transformative journeys where joy and lasting memories unfold seamlessly. In the dynamic world of event marketing, Candice helps you navigate it with grace, humility, and unwavering commitment to excellence. And Candice, her presentation today is centered, or not today, but at the summit, is centered all around the idea of gather and grow, crafting memorable in-person events. So Candice, first off, thank you for being a speaker. And second off, thank you for being here with me today to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So your bio really went into detail about your experience with doing events, but why don't you share with us a little bit more about how crafting memorable and personal in-person events is really your cup of tea?
Well, I've seen how companies do their lead generation and what they do at live events. And I've been to lots of live events from just varying degrees of kinds, right? And I I've seen the things that really stand out, and I've noticed the behaviors and the structure behind doing something that can leave a lasting impression.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, years and years of going to events, managing events, all of that stuff. Obviously, you're going to be sharing in your presentation the how to leave some memorable event or memorable impressions. But like, why? Why is that memorable impression more than just a good experience, but how can that really help and support our business owners?
Well, in-person events bring a totally different element, right? Humans are chemically reactive with other humans around their space, right? Our hearts put off a certain wavelength of energy, electric energy. And, science has shown that it just bonds us. It releases chemicals and hormones in our bodies. And so, when people have an in-person event and they're moving around and connecting with other people, it's easier to integrate the information, especially a well-run event. And really, the thing is we can get creative and do this amazing thing and do this amazing thing. But what I want you guys to know about my class is that we're going into the operations. We're going into the framework so that you can execute a successful event, because so many times I've seen friends and colleagues have this amazing idea and they move forward, but logistically and operationally, they're just not set up to actually follow it all the way through. And all kinds of things can happen at that point. And so it's so important to do this for your branding and as well as the transformation of the people that you work with. So building that framework is super important, because everybody's got an amazing message. And if you want to host an event, then I'm all for it and cheering you on, because it takes a lot to be able to do that. And I honor that in all of you.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. Like, I'm going to be asking you about a success story of using your framework, but I think I might have a success story of using your framework, which is I was working with a client and we were doing something that I do, which is called Quantum Power Days, and we built out the framework and the operational and all of the back end support for a 3-day event she was hosting in California. And we did that 3 months in advance. And the whole rest of the time, because it was already prepped, it was already ready, she was able to focus on ticket sales to the event and creating the memorable experience and the ambiance and those pieces of the event. Well, the event came and went, and she had sold out all of her spots at the event and sold over $500,000 at the event as well. And a core part of that was she was able to focus on creating those memorable experiences and the transformation because the 11-step framework was already built in place for her. So there's, I think, my own experience with a client utilizing an in-person event to really transform and grow her business and get good at business, but also getting good at the event starts with that framework.
Yeah.
So what clients, or whether it's you or your clients, like what success have you seen with people using this framework?
Really, I thought I had just beginner's luck, and sometimes I do. I'll host something or do something, and it's like a hit, and then sometimes it gets hard for me to recreate that. I'll admit that, and who knows? There's a whole bunch that we could talk about that could go into that, right? Different lessons and whatnot. But I was really surprised with the in-person events, the retreats, and the conferences because from the get-go for 4 to 5 solid years has had consistent results. And my first one of each of those, right, a 4-day intimate retreat of less than 20 people, and then a 2-day conference for about 75 people, I think that first year. I had actually hired somebody for the retreat to help me do this background work and notice the things that really didn't come to mind. And there were still a few things. Once I planned it, I was like, oh, next time I'm going to make sure to have this handled or whatnot. And then the second event, which was then my first 2-day conference, I had a mentor as well, and that I had worked with for a while. So I had the resources I need, and I planned ahead. Planning ahead. People tell me all the time, like, "Oh, that's so far in advance. I can, you can throw this event together in like a month." But for me, the way my brain works and doing so much organically and on my own, I needed to make sure that I had enough time to really get everything built out. And so, like I said, that first retreat sold out. That first event, I had 75 registrants, and it blew my mind that as a first timer, that I was able to pull that many people together and to also host these amazing experiential activities. So yeah, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah. And now you're building on a 5-year track record of those kind of results and have crafted this framework to help support and build. And in your presentation, you are going to be teaching us how to gather and grow, crafting those memorable in-person events. And I
Absolutely.
also know that you have something that you're giving away to those who attend live. One lucky attendee live can get this with you. So why don't you share with us what that is?
Yeah, so this is an hour and a half phone call where we just plan your event. And honestly, I like to give away my time rather than this is exactly what it's going to be, because everyone is different and organic. So you might be halfway through an event that you're planning and need help with certain things. You may have never hosted anything before and need help with ideas. Maybe it'll be more of a brainstorming session. Maybe we'll actually use the time to pull together some spreadsheets and whatever else you need on that functional side. We get to use this time to help you get closer to hosting that event. And of course, I'll go over the framework in a little bit more detail than what you're going to learn otherwise. And so, yep, we just dive right in. It's quite intensive, but it's super fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting that winner.
Yeah, love it. And so if you're watching this as a business owner, first off, you want to come to this event because it is a virtual event. You can join from your own home and you get to learn from over 20 expert speakers across the areas of intuition, marketing, operations, velocity, and execution. You want to come because Candice's presentation is going to be incredible. So excited to learn about in-person events and how to make them memorable and how to help them help you add to the bottom line of your business, utilizing her framework to set you up for success. And then you want to make sure you really attend live because Candice is offering that amazing opportunity to one lucky live attendee after her presentation to help you continue to get good at business and get good at events. So that said, Candice, thank you so much for joining us today. And for those who are watching, if you want to come to the Get Good at Business Summit, Candice has an amazing opportunity for you, because if you type her name into the ticket registration, you can actually get your tickets for free. So go to summit.getgoodatbusiness.com, type in Candice, and that's Candice, and make sure that you are able to come, set aside the time, save the date. You do not want to miss this Get Good at Business Summit. So thank you again, Candice, and everyone else. We hope to see you there.